podcast people. Welcome to a special episode of Four Weebs, that anime podcast, episode 35. And we're all in the same room recording, which is kind of weird. And we just watched the anime we're going to talk about, which is also kind of weird.
Yeah.
So it was my pick for the special episode this time, and since we've brought it up so many times before, I thought we'd finally do Neon Genesis Evangelion.
That was beautiful.
Except the rainbows.
Well,
there's a lot of rainbows.
So beautiful.
Specifically, we watched the first rebuild of Evangelion movie, which is kind of a remake and kind of like a redo with some things changed. The whole franchise gets a little complicated. Kind of like how we were talking about Ghost in the Shell in the last episode.
A bit, yeah.
All the stuff I like is just complicated and takes a lot of time. My name's Liam, by the way, if you don't know me. And I'm with...
Well...
No, Veda!
No, me first!
Let's start!
My name is Veda. Hi, everyone.
This is why we record in different rooms, because we can't actually be together without fighting.
We can't look at each other and just glare.
Yeah.
Either way, we still manage to talk over each other.
Yeah. My name's Becca, and Leah, unfortunately, has gone away to the west coast of Canada.
We killed her.
Veda!
What?
The police will use this!
Oh, I mean, yeah, she's in Vancouver.
Exactly!
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Leah just watched Evangelion, which was super great. Should we talk about the franchise for a minute? Just about how...
Maybe,
I guess we could start with like
history.
an introduction to the franchise. We've all seen all the original stuff, which includes episodes 1 to 26, and then the end of Evangelion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And which gets... It's
You've
kind
seen
of...
it.
People have very strong opinions about, especially like the last 2 episodes of the show,
Yeah.
which were very, very weird, and a lot of people say they're pretty bad.
I liked them. They were like artsy in that like you gotta think more about it than just like letting it inject itself into the back of your eyeballs.
That's fair.
Yeah, you can definitely go pretty deep with them, but there was still a lot of hate for them. So much so that like the end of Evangelion got made to kind of give the fans the proper ending they wanted, but it was still like pretty confusing. It just like, had more decent animation in it.
Like Firefly with Serenity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
that's actually a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I finished Evangelion, like watching it all, I had to immediately go to a bunch of Ava wiki pages for a couple hours.
Well, that's the thing.
And then I kind of understood it after, but still not really.
That's the thing, is you spend 15 hours watching the show and the movies, and then you spend another like 5 hours
being like
reading everything online where everyone explains to you what's going on, because it's so confusing, and I feel like I'm still confused. It's been a while since I watched the show.
I think with Evangelion, you just kind of have to accept that you'll be confused.
Sort of confused.
I mean, who knows if the creator of the show even knows all the answers himself.
I
don't think he does. I think part of the confusion comes from the fact that he just sort of threw a bunch of stuff in there because he was like, it looks cool.
Well, it feels like the focus is supposed to be more about the characters and like how they quit being whiny little emo bitches.
Like, it's like the character driven.
Yeah, so like the angels are kind of like just the driving force, and if they don't make as much sense as they should, oops.
But a lot of shows are like that, even.
That's definitely the strong point of the show, is the psychology behind it. Mm-hmm. It's one of those shows that you can go pretty deep into. It's not like a super just like turn your brain off show.
Yeah.
Though it's really good though. You probably if you're into anime, you've probably heard it talked about before. Lots of people talk about it.
Yeah.
It has a horde of fans.
We bring up Shinji, the stupid idiot, a lot, so...
It's because he's a stupid idiot.
It is Shinji.
I guess we should throw out, if you haven't watched Evangelion, spoilers.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, yeah, we'll try and contain it to the first, movie that we watched specifically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes me think of, just in general, it's kind of one of those animes that you need to watch to just have an opinion, because so many other things reference it.
Yeah, that's really
true. It may not necessarily be your bag of, what you're into regarding anime, but you need to know about it.
At the very least.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just watch a video online. about Evangelion.
Which is way quicker, way easier, less whiny.
There are actually quite a few good videos out there.
Digibro has a lot of good video essays about it.
I
guess we'll start talking about the actual movie we watched. Let's do it small pieces at a time.
Alright.
How did you guys feel about the animation?
I really thought it was, I really liked the animation. But the style was really nice. They had lots of rainbows, and there were lots of gradients everywhere.
So many rainbows.
Yeah.
It felt like they took the original animation from the original show and just, gave it a real nice upgrade.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah, the styles were pretty similar.
Yeah.
It was just, there's a little bit of CGI thrown in there. I thought it was tasteful.
It was integrated well.
Yeah.
But you said, Becca, when we first started watching, when Shinji first shows up, you were like, "Oh, look, it looks nicer, but it's still Shinji." Right?
Yeah.
It's still all the designs and stuff are kept intact, but everything just looks slightly updated and clean.
Yeah, it's not like the Sailor Moon reboot where they're they look kind of the same. They're the same characters, but we didn't bother trying to make it look the same.
But Betty Spaghetti's.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looked seriously, I would say it looked like they almost took the original screens and stuff and just redid them crisper and cleaner.
Which is nice.
Yeah, it's less jarring.
And they did all the at least the 4th and the 5th angels.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, the 5th and the 6th, they did change them a bit so they look kind of the same thematically, but they, Ramael specifically has cool swirly geometric shapes flying all over the place
and
so
rainbows.
He fires his laser
and drills the drill,
blows shit up, and that was probably my favorite part of the rebuild movies. It's just they made Ramael look sick.
Yeah,
nice and sexy.
I think all of them all of the angels look kind of freakish and frightening in some ways. I don't know. I actually really like I think it's the 3rd angel that you're introduced to initially.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually really like his plague
cool.
doctor mask face. I don't know. I just have a soft spot for that design.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the cool angels. I think he's a good way to introduce, because it's still a big monster destroying a city, but it's different and weird enough.
Yeah.
Not too weird.
Yeah.
Whereas, when you get to Ramael, that's definitely, not your typical city-destroying monster. He's just, a big floating crystal.
Well,
it's almost, more menacing.
Yeah.
Because there's, nothing you can really focus on as, that's a thing. It's just sort of, this object in the sky.
It's just so otherworldly.
Yeah,
exactly. The part of it where it's just, it's so different than everything we're used to. The initial 2 angels, 3 and 4, when they show up, the one looks like a centipede, and that's something that we can identify, and we have experience with things that look like that.
Yeah.
But then Ramael shows up, and he's just this big blue diamond
a
in
crystal.
the sky, and it's just we're not in Kansas anymore. That's something entirely different.
That's not earthly.
No.
And technically Evangelion is a mecha anime, but the mechs that are in the show are pretty unique.
Yeah.
They're introduced sort of subtly as they're cybernetic organisms or synthetic humanoids, but they're giant, and they aren't your typical Gundam. They've got kind of long, skinny arms and legs, and kind of weird, creepy faces. Yeah. And also they have electrical plugs running from their backs because
they need to be charged.
They need to be charged. Most of the ideal fight happens while the Ava's plugged in the whole time.
I thought that was an interesting choice, even for the initial series, to have them plugged in and being stuck in a certain location. Usually, you're used to the Gundams that show up and can fly through everything.
Well, they just sort of brush over that. Usually, they're just it has some sort of magical power battery that works.
I'm not gonna tell you how it works. It just does.
But they actually focused on it in Evangelion, which kind of made it it stands out.
Yeah. I know we discussed when we were watching it. I really like the designs. I'm not a mech person. Anybody that's listened to the podcast for more than an episode knows I'm not mech. I do not like mechas. But I really do like the designs of the Avas. Specifically Ava 1, the purple.
Yeah, Ava Unit 1's pretty sweet.
Some nice colors.
Cool. Yeah.
Complimentary.
I'll be seeing him in my dreams.
So, visuals aside, what's there to talk about next? I feel I don't know, are we going to jump into the psychological themes right away? Because I feel that's something that applies to the movies and the show.
Yeah.
I feel
let's talk about the flow of the movie a bit. Just how they... Because they compressed a lot of info from the show into the movie. and I think it works almost better as a movie.
Would you say this is kind of... Because, like, the storylines are different between the Evangelion rebuilds and the original Evangelion show.
Yeah,
so
well, this
one...
The first movie, though.
5 or 6 episodes?
I can't remember.
Of the original show?
Yeah, I think...
Up to 7,
Asuka isn't in this first movie, and she gets introduced somewhere around, like, episode 8, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this first movie isn't... Like, it doesn't stray that far from the original show. I've seen the second and the third movies, and by the end of the second movie, like, it's like a whole new different thing.
Yeah.
But me, personally, myself, after I finished the first movie the first time, I felt like it explained more than the entire TV show did.
I just find a lot of it flows better. Yeah, like
it's more streamlined.
Yeah, already discussed it a bit, like, streamline information, and they cut out the repetitiveness that you get from the original show.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about Shinji's like thoughts and feelings and why he's so conflicted about everything. The original show, it feels like they just kind of keep repeating
the same one,
the same thing.
Like he's just like one note where he's just like, oh no one likes me, my life sucks.
And this one kind of got away from that by like breaking it down more into the various different issues he's tackling, like if it's actually a choice for him to run the Ava or if he's being forced into it, the complex feelings with his daddy,
they give you more context as to why he's so like messed up and stuff, and whereas in the show they just sort of like here are his feelings at face value, you know, so everybody's always like, oh my god, Shinji's so annoying because you don't understand like why he's the way he is,
and
basically
he is annoying.
Yes, that too, but I mean he is 14, so
I know.
Before we get into the angst stuff more, like we're all kind of in the position where we've seen the show first and now we're watching the rebuild movies, so I wonder what it would be like if you haven't seen any of the Evangelion stuff and then you just go into this movie blind. I feel like it wouldn't be, like, I feel like the experience watching this movie is better if you've seen the show before, but at the same time, like, I'm kind of conflicted because this does a better job at presenting the information than the show does, so, like...
I feel like maybe it depends on the person. Like, if the person who's going into the movie is like a really avid anime watcher, I think it would be fine to start with that. But if you're showing it to like your buddy who hasn't watched as much anime because you're just like, oh, look at this really sick mecha movie that I found or whatever, then like, I don't know, me looking at it trying to figure out that kind of thing, they do throw a lot of information at you in the movie at once, which works if you've seen the show because you know all the context of stuff, but if you haven't, then you're like, wait, why are they doing this? Who's this? What's that?
It might be something that lends the movie to second viewings, though.
That's also true.
I kind of compare it to like watching Game of Thrones. The first time watching it, a lot of surface, didn't pick up a lot of the subtleties.
Yes.
Watch it a second or third time.
I agree.
And you start picking up on all those subtleties and like things that you didn't notice the first time.
Names for me.
Yeah, and like I find that makes it... ability to rewatch a show and get more out of it makes it a good show, because if you rewatch it, it's always the same. It's super boring. You're never going to want to rewatch it. It keeps getting better every time you do, and that's what I don't like. I feel like a person could watch this blind without having any previous knowledge.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying like someone might be confused.
So so we're saying overall it'd probably be better if you watched it after watching the show.
I think so, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of time dedication for people. I think if you're really interested in watching Evangelion, watch this, see how you feel. If you're feeling really confused, there's already so many resources online that can fill those spaces for you that, like...
Wikipedia, great.
Yeah, like, so, like, part of me would just say, watch these. They look nicer.
Especially if you don't want to watch like the entire show and then the other 90s movie. Like if you're just like, that's too much for me, just watch the movies.
And like once we get into the angst thing, I'll go off, but this one just felt nicer to watch. It felt more comfortable to watch than the 90s one.
Nice.
And I don't know how any other way to describe it, but...
No, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of conflicted. I guess when you come down to it, you should definitely have watched some more mainstream anime before you watch this. Like, if you've seen a couple other kind of serious, critically acclaimed anime, maybe you'll definitely appreciate this a bit more. Because this does have some, you know, like we've said before, deconstruction of anime tropes.
Yeah, that too. There's some stuff where it might look weird if somebody hasn't seen anime before.
So if you've seen, like, something, if you've seen Akira or maybe some I mean, lots of people have seen Hayao Miyazaki or a popular show like Ghost in the Shell, or I always bring up Ghost in the Shell, or Madoka Magica.
So things that have a bit more thought put into them and like deeper themes than just romance or
Naruto.
Big swords.
Naruto. Well, like I can't even speak to Naruto because I haven't watched any of it.
That's
so
okay. No.
Maybe it does get deep and complex later.
I'm just ragging on Naruto.
Don't bring up that shit here.
But something with like you said, like a bit deeper thought into it, deeper themes, more to dig into.
Something a bit more meaty.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching Breaking Bad versus watching Friends.
Yeah.
One of them you watch to zone out. One of them you watch to be like, oh my god, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones that you go, oh my god, what are they doing?
You gotta kind of think while you're watching
the biggest thing is just have to you have to kind of know what anime is all about first.
Yeah.
It's not a good anime to watch if you've never seen any anime before.
Don't show it to your parents.
Although it could be an interesting introduction into anime. I mean,
I think, it could be.
Part of me just wants to take like a little 7-year-old child and put them in a room and be like, watch this and tell me how you feel about anime.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's why we're not allowed to do tests on or experiments on children anymore.
I don't think that would go very
well. Might be harmed. It's just a cartoon. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I feel like if you wanted like the bare minimum before you watch this, like maybe show them Akira.
Yeah.
And then this.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah, or even just show them Cowboy Bebop and then
Cowboy
this.
Bebop's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah, it is.
I feel like I almost feel like this is a gateway anime. If you're going to watch this one first and enjoy it, you're going to find a lot more anime that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah. I would think this is like one step after you watch your gateway anime.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, it depends. Because I know a lot of people...
Depends on the person.
Yeah, a lot of people got into anime through, like, the 90s version of Evangelion, so...
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I said, I feel like these movies kind of sum it up better. And
so let's get into the meaty bits. The bits that are kind of the same throughout the show and these movies is how everyone's trying to like fuck over Shinji, and Shinji just gets fucked up. And
okay, I don't think anybody's out to fuck up Shinji except maybe his dad. So this is my issue with watching the original Evangelion. I thought it was really well done. It was really neat. Yeah. But Jesus Christ, Shinji is a whiny little bitch, and it drove me up the wall. I just didn't have the patience for like the teenager angst that he's going through, and like watch it. I don't know.
It's not just you.
The rebuild gives more depth to why he's upset, and that's part of why like. He was easier to watch in this film than he was in the original series.
Yeah.
But
then, like, I think it's better because they don't, like, I don't know, you spend slightly less time focusing on all of Shinji's, like, hang-ups.
Well, things feel a little bit more real, too. Like, and this is, like, I watched the original about 2 years ago, so something foggy. But you don't really get the whole, like, this is your choice, Shinji, but just so you know, if you make the wrong choice, everyone's going to die. So, like, I can see why that would give someone a complex. It's like...
Yeah. They do it in the show, but I think it feels more urgent in the movie because everything's kind of happening once after the other, and they're like, bang, 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 everyone's gonna die, so you better not fuck this up.
And that might be part of it, where it's like, cut out the stupid filler, and just get right to the point of what's going on. Like, I don't need to, like, I honestly don't need to know his every single little, like, thought process about why he feels sad about himself today.
Yeah.
Because it's a shitty situation. Like, everyone's in a shitty situation in this show. The world's being attacked by angels that are going to try to blow up the world. It's a shitty situation.
They're, like, in an apocalypse, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost kind of the same themes that they deal with in Attack on Titan sometimes. It's like, you just have to make a decision. You don't always have time to think about what
all the things that go around it.
How people deal under pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like because full confession here, I only just started watching Attack on Titan like a week ago. The whole PTSD aspect where people are so busy being in shock that they don't think straight, and it's really easy for like the average person who's sitting watching cartoons on their couch to forget that that's like an actual mind state where your mind is so scrambled that you just can't think straight and you're just doing the best you can.
Yeah.
And that's almost it feels like they did a better job of illustrating Shinji as that kind of character where his brain's just a little bit scrambled right now because he's dealing with a lot of heavy shit. Yeah. It's like a little egg.
A little egg.
Yeah, somebody just picked up and went, like, shook forever.
Now he's cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to... From what I remember of the second and third movies, like, you're definitely right about all the stuff about Shinji, but I think one of the negative parts about cutting them down into the movies is they deal with less of the psychology with the other characters, because, like, there's a lot of stuff with, like, Misato and Rei and Asuka there, because, like, Asuka has lots of issues with her mother, before I get into any spoilers there, and, like, Rei's situation is pretty effed up, too.
It's pretty unique.
Same with Misato, like, Misato and her father. So the whole, like, when you boil it down, the whole show kind of deals with just, like, everyone's psychology, and then the background is just kind of a post-apocalyptic mech anime.
Yeah.
Or apocalyptic, I guess.
Yeah. I'd be really interested to see how they handle Asuka in this version, because it feels like in the original she was just kind of like the loud, angry, screaming girl that kicked Shinji in the head pretty much once an episode.
The tsundere.
Like, I really liked what they...
really ever engage with her, so...
I like what they did with Asuka in the show, like, towards the end. They do some really cool things with her, and, like, especially... Even, she has a good moment in the end of Evangelion movie. And I think they definitely don't address that as much in the rebuild movies.
Oh, yeah.
I know, like, it's kind of unfair saying that because, like, I'm the only one who's seen them.
Yeah.
Maybe if I watch again, I'll think about it differently.
Maybe.
I
can't say anything.
Asuka best waifu.
I don't know.
No.
Whatever.
Yep.
It's okay. If we all had the same waifu, we would just be fighting about that all the time.
That's very true.
I guess, like, shouldn't say it because they're all, like, 15 anyways, but...
Nah. No one cares.
She's a cartoon, Liam.
It's okay. Unless they're related, then it's not okay.
What's I going to talk about? Oh, so I have this theory.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure that this entire thing is a metaphor for Shinji's sexuality, and he's secretly bisexual, and that's part of the reason why his father will have nothing to do with him. His father is so ashamed that his son isn't just like
the manly man he wants him to be.
Go get a lady knocked up and then like take over Daddy's pet project, which is protecting the world.
Getting in the damn robot.
Yeah, I could be completely like off base on this completely, but I definitely see like the rainbows and stuff when things are exploding.
I didn't remember there being that many rainbows.
Neither did I, though.
New drinking game. If you're watching this, take a shot every time you see a rainbow.
There you go.
Take a shot every time Shinji says, "I mustn't run away."
Yeah,
that too.
You can apologize to your liver for us.
Every time Shinji's dad is an asshole.
Oh wow!
Pretty much consistently.
Like every time he shows up, just take a shot.
Constantly.
His dad felt way more asshole-ish in the rebuild movies than he even did in the original series. I feel like.
I thought he was pretty asshole-y in the movie.
Well,
it's in the show
too, but it feels like this one he's a lot more like.
I don't care.
It. Yeah, he's like.
Just
like,
Shinji's being useless. Just leave him to die.
Yeah, and that first part was like, "Hey Shinji, I know I haven't seen you in 3 years, and we just showed you this weird giant robot underground that you didn't know was here.
But
so you have to pilot it and save the world, okay?" And Shinji's like, "What the fuck? That's ridiculous." And then he's just like, "All right, send in the other pilot. She'll do it.
Send in the dying girl. She'll do it."
Useless.
Make him feel guilty so he does it.
I just like when Shinji's like, "Dad, please notice me."
Yeah. He actually does say that. He says something like, "Why won't he notice me?
Why won't my father notice me?"
Why won't Senpai notice me?
I laugh so hard. It's just, I'm a horrible person.
Poor Shinji.
We're just the victims of cancerous memes.
Oh, meme it up.
Senpai.
But no. Meow.
Kitty came. There's another kitty here today.
No matter where we go, the podcast is always interrupted by a cat.
We all love cats.
It's true.
Stop freaking out.
They're so adorable. Anyway, that was my theory anyway. It's all about Shinji and his sexuality, and his dad's a gigantic a-hole.
Yeah, basically. That sums it up pretty well.
It's just like the comparison about how his dad deals with Rei, where he's all like engaging with her and like smiling, and like Rei's smiling back. Like,
well, that's the part where it like cuts to Shinji being like,
and then Shinji's just like, "What the hell?"
She's just crying in the corner.
And it's like, I get it now. Mm-hmm. That's really harsh. Like,
you feel bad for Shinji.
By the way, get in this robot, go put your life on the line, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, Dad.
Yeah,
some daddy issues. That's why he's probably gonna hook up with the other guy.
Kaoru.
Yeah.
Kaoru. Whatever how you say it. I thought it was Kaworu.
Yep.
I don't know.
Green-haired, red-eyed, sexy beast.
The angel boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's introduced just at the very end of the movie, but we know more about him from the show, obviously.
The 2 episodes he was in the show
I did show them some clips from the 3rd movie just because there's some really magical stuff that happens.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
I didn't show back at that
blow
part.
Something.
Yeah.
Oh,
wink.
Just show that to you.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting. I'm interested to see what your guys' reactions are to what happens in like the 2nd and 3rd movies. Is when they start changing the plot, because by the end of the 2nd movie, it gets pretty like over the top weird.
Oh, I like weird.
So, maybe weird's not the word I'm looking for.
Weird
it's just
that
like
makes sense.
Like by the end of the 2nd movie, they get to the point where the show ends.
Okay.
But it gets crazier than end of
so it like kind of goes off on a different track than
by
the show.
By the end of the 2nd movie, they've hit the end of Evangelion in terms of plot, but it's a lot different.
So is it after like the original movie where like
the end of Evangelion?
It's just.
Yeah, it's like the 3rd impact happens at the end of the 2nd movie. Spoilers.
Yes. Hey, we said spoilers off the very top, so if you're still listening and you haven't seen anime,
spoilers.
I mean, like, you can only be so angry.
I mean, I just told you what happens, but that doesn't mean any of it'll make sense. So.
That's true.
So yeah, and then the 3rd movie is all like after the impact, and it's uncharted territory. It's confusing as heck.
Remind me again what the impacts are. The first impact is when the egg lands. The 2nd is when the angels come.
Yeah, this is the part where it gets really.
It starts to get
frustrating.
Weird.
Like the 2nd impact is when Adam, or humans come in contact with Adam or something.
Yeah.
And then the 3rd impact has something to do with Ava Unit 1. It's
been too long. I've
Wikipedia.
forgotten.
It's kind of a personal self journey that the viewers must reach themselves.
Well, this is the part where it's like, if it was actually important to like what we're supposed to experience, it would make more sense.
There is some cool like lore stuff, like the way all the angels are named and the whole lore about the angels and like the humans and the Book of Life or the Book of Knowledge that's mentioned briefly in the movie. That stuff gets pretty cool.
Like deep sea scrolls.
Yeah.
And I know I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dead Sea. That's what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, at a certain point you gotta wonder like if the creator is just purposely making it confusing.
Well,
so that gets a little annoying.
Yeah.
Because we've read some stuff where he said that he just adds things because he thought they were cool. At a certain point, I'm like, okay, well, what actually is important to understanding what's going on, and what's just like
what's legitimately
stuff to make it look neat.
Yeah, like, what's legitimately symbolic and what is just kind of there.
And that makes it even more confusing, where it's like
you can't really differentiate them as a viewer.
Yeah, because you're not the person who wrote it.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. It just seems like a very convoluted way to go about writing things. But
yeah, works.
Yeah, and the angels look fucking sweet. So.
They do look really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're pretty cool in the 2nd movie too. They like take the themes of the first angels and
like update
make them different and unique.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, go ahead.
Can I talk about Misato
Kasaragi.
She's so cool in this version.
I liked her in the show.
She's also a contender for best waifu.
Yeah.
I didn't mind her in the show, but this one she actually feels like she has her shit together, like where she needs to have it together. And I don't know, she's a badass bitch. Like she's doing what she needs to do to get the job done, and I really like her. I really like this version of her.
Yeah, no.
It's definitely good. I think in the show they explore more of like her personal issues a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do it in the movie still. It's just like different.
Like her and that guy, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because he comes up when he's like Asuka's handler, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Me neither.
Starts with a K, I think.
Ken.
Doesn't he die at some point? That might be a spoiler, or I'm misremembering.
I actually can't remember.
I remember, but I won't say it.
Token Ken.
Yeah, there we go.
He grows watermelons in the show. Fun fact.
Watermelons or melons?
She just felt like the original show, it felt a lot more like she was supposed to be a bit of like comedic relief and something that really doesn't.
Well, I think she had parts that were comedic relief in the show, but like she was also like still a badass.
Yeah, I prefer her when she's a little bit more serious and she isn't being treated as like the butt of the joke half the time.
I think Shinji's more the butt of the joke.
Shinji is
a very, very horrible joke.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I watched the show when I was like 18 and going through my emo phase with the original show, I would have been all over that. I would have like gobbled up. I would have like, finally, something understands me.
If you're an angsty teenager, just go watch Evangelion. You'll love it.
Yeah, like the whole thing, the whole original, I was like, it's just a 14-year-old crying about how nobody cares about him. Welcome to fucking life, guys. Not to be like cynical and sad about it.
Like every 14-year-old is like that, though.
I know. It's like part of growing up is realizing that not everybody thinks about you 24/7 like how you think about yourself 24/7. And it like drove me up the wall watching the first series. But if I was this angsty teenager at the time, I would have been like, finally somebody gets me. And I guess that's the part where I like struggle with this franchise a little bit, where I'm like, more saving the world, less crying about hurt feelings.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, if Shinji was just like, okay, I must get in the robot because it is my duty to protect the world, like, the show just would be more boring.
That's actually true,
together, and they would have been... Never mind.
He and Ray would have...
Not even going to go there. I can't Ray and Shinji. Is Ray his mother? A clone of it.
That's a big spoiler.
Oh boy.
No, well,
we said it off the top.
She's not his mother.
It's complicated.
There's complicated reasons that the Shinji Ray ship is wrong.
Yeah.
Or right.
No.
So right.
No.
I'm sorry, but...
Becca, no.
This is like the least offensive ship I can choose.
Shinji Asuka all the way. Or Shinji Katsuragi.
Oh, what about Shinji Kaoru?
Or, that is Kaoshin.
Kaoshin!
That has the strongest fan base, arguably.
Maybe Shinji needs to give polyamory a try. So then he can be with all the waifus and husbandos.
I'm sure there's some fanfic for
everyone
you.
Will be happy.
Oh, I bet there is.
Oh, I can promise you that there's some dirty, dirty fanfic out there that fulfills all the requirements I have.
Oh boy.
Yep.
This is some quality conversation.
You know what? Shout out to the people that write those fanfics. I bet it's a lot of work.
I bet. Some of them are like super long.
You gotta figure out how to transition gracefully into the porn scenes.
30 chapters of like build up.
Yeah, I don't read those ones.
No.
Yeah, like I want the kind that you read with one hand, if you know what I'm saying.
That's the last from the mouse.
Oh man.
Let's talk a bit about the composition of the animation and how they use that as a storytelling tool. Like, there's that one shot of Shinji kind of like sitting curled up on a metal chair, and then
crying.
The door is open, and the light from the door is kind of dividing the scene into two sections, and Shinji's in the darkness.
And Misato's in the light, and
she's
trying to be like, stop being a stupid shit.
Baby.
Yeah.
Just make a fucking decision, and he's like, I don't want to make a decision.
I'd like to talk about how many times Shinji got slapped, but first the composition.
He only got slapped once. And then he got punched in the face twice.
He got slapped twice, both Rei and Misato?
No, Misato was gonna slap him, but she didn't. And she slapped herself.
She should have slapped him. Anyway, the composition of this scene. I'm actually really bad at not noticing composition initially. I usually need a couple watch throughs or like
have someone explain it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like obviously I'm very like story and character driven.
I'm kind of a zombie sometimes.
Well, that's the thing, is like a lot of my television watching, at least recently, has been a lot of like just like surface viewing. Mm-hmm. Like just put it in my eyeballs so I can have something to pay attention to, and then I can go to bed.
Yeah.
But all I can think is like the colors and stuff they use. Like the scenes that really stood out to me were like when they're getting ready to set up the plasma gun dealio, and the sky is all purple and blue, and like all the lights underneath are like red and orange and pink.
Yeah.
Like that coloration was really pretty.
A lot of the colors were more of like sunset. Like at the beginning of the movie, it's kind of like midday, but then throughout the movie, it just sort of progressively goes towards more like purples and oranges and reds.
The backgrounds in general were really detailed and nice.
Yeah. And like
and Ava Unit 1's colors kind of makes it so he always stands out.
Yeah, that's true.
And like we bag on the rainbows a lot, but the rainbows really were used just as like highlighting effects.
Yeah.
For like when the battle's going on, or like a battle has ended.
Like they just killed something. Rainbow.
Kind of like the rainbow storm. I don't know. I like.
But the rainbow was always coming from a rain of angel blood. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they're saying something.
Every time an angel dies, it just like explodes and just blood sprays everywhere. And then it makes a rainbow.
Well, it makes the world a little bit more of a happier place when you consider they're living in the post-apocalyptic place.
Oh, look, it's raining blood again!
But there's a rainbow! Every time you kill an angel, there's a rainbow, so that's pretty sweet.
All the people just sort of walk outside like, meh.
My plane is late because of that angel.
God damn it! This traffic is so slow.
That was the one thing that like stood out to me a lot. Is like they're shutting down all of Japan to reroute all the electricity to run this plasma laser gun thing that's gonna kill Angel number 5.
The Diamond.
Mumbo number 5.
Ramael.
And, meanwhile, there's people waiting at the airport for their planes, and I was like, shouldn't these people be in a bunker somewhere, or...
They're used to it.
Not going on a business trip? I don't know. It seemed very odd. Like, it didn't... World-building-wise, it didn't click together.
Well, that's what Liam mentioned, how, they've already lived through, like, half of the apocalypse. So they're just sort of like, oh, look, an angel!
Well, there's already been 2 impacts, and then Misato says at one point that in the second impact, half of the world's population was killed.
So
they're used to it.
Airplanes?
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good point!
Definitely, like, the,
Maybe it's the military.
There is a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah.
Like, all I could think is, like, it seems like a really weird world to have built. Like, everybody still lives on the surface of the planet, even though that's where the angels are gonna get you.
But they got the, like, buildings that just...
Yeah, the buildings that go up and down.
I thought that was really cool when I first watched it.
I mean, like,
though.
It's a pretty...
giant guns to shoot the angels.
It's a pretty weird show already. They might as well make the futuristic sci-fi parts pretty, like, weird and futuristic anyways. Well, it's definitely, like, it's a little... You have to suspend a little bit of disbelief.
Yeah. But like everything has that sort of slight suspension.
Anime.
Yeah, that too.
It's like my disbelief suspended so far, and then there's people waiting in the airport, and I was like, that's almost a step too far, guys. Like,
maybe we'll just pretend you didn't see that scene.
Yeah.
Just ignore it.
I barely remember that part, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
like a couple clips of like when the power's all going out, right?
Yeah, well, and like I said, like the buildings that go up and down, I think that's really cool. That's really neat.
It's a neat idea.
It just seems like in that world, what would you rather put your money into? Tons of Ava units that people can power and like walk around the Earth on, and like blast angels whenever they show up, and like hunt deer in them and stuff, because that's what people would do.
Yeah. But would they really want to sell Ava units to just Joe Schmo on the street? Like, hey, dude, you want to buy an Ava?
I think the Ava units are supposed to be so astronomically expensive, though, that there's, like, they can barely have the 3 that they have.
Well, yeah, because there's that one part where they're talking about, Shinji's, like, becoming a boiled potato, and they're like, oh, no, we should eject him, and then the guy's like, no, we can't eject him, because if we do it now, the AT field on the Ava will just disappear, and the thing will be destroyed.
We can replace the boiled potato. We can't replace the pot.
Exactly. That's exactly what it means.
Poor Shinji, and then it makes sense why he has such a complex. On one hand, everyone's like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but if you don't, the world's gonna blow up.
Right, they give him they give him the illusion of choice, but then they're like, if you choose the one option that you like want to choose, then everyone's gonna die, and it's all your fault.
I'll disown you even harder.
And literally everyone on the planet will hate you instead of just everyone in Japan.
Well, like Leon pointed out, even at the very beginning, when they truck Rei in after Shinji's like, I don't know if I want to get in the suit, man.
Yeah.
And they're like, never mind, bring in number 2. And like Rei comes in on the stretcher.
Yeah.
And he like has her blood on her hands, as Liam pointed out.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh my god, blood on my hands. Everybody's blood on my hands.
Yeah.
Poor Shinji.
I know.
He needs a therapist.
Yeah, probably.
I stick to the thought of you can invent multi-million-dollar Eva suits, but you can't give him some antidepressants to help him just numb himself down with what he has to do.
He kind of needs them.
Like, give that guy a bottle of whiskey.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a great antidepressant.
Yeah, but maybe that has to do with like piloting the Eva, because I know AT field stands for Absolute Terror Field.
Oh, is that what it stands for?
Like, part of piloting the Evangelion has to do with your personality.
Well, it has to do with like your brain patterns and stuff too.
Well, I remember they mentioned in the show something about how it had to be like 14-year-old kids who were piloting the Evas, and I can't remember why.
It's kind of like Harry Potter, where they need to have gone through the trauma.
Yeah.
What part of Harry Potter is that from?
Well, they see the trestles. Trestles. The ones that called the like weird skeleton horses.
Oh yeah. Thestrals.
That you have to go through.
You have to have like seen someone die in order to see them.
Yeah, you have to have like touched death. To, like, see.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part.
I don't know why. Like I always think of Harry Potter that way, but.
Hey, you're wearing a Harry Potter shirt.
I know. I'm a Hufflepuff today.
Good job.
That's why all I want to do is eat and sleep.
She's a just Hufflepuff, but you aren't Team Instinct. Like.
I know, it's weird, right? It's almost like I'm a multifaceted being with numerous personality aspects.
What team are you?
I'm Team Valor, bitches!
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Team Valor.
Represent.
Good job, guys.
You're just waiting for Digimon Go?
Me? Yeah, sure.
It's gonna be like Digimon Go. I heard they're bringing in a buddy system. Different topic completely. We'll talk about it later.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, closing thoughts on Evangelion, or is there anything else we missed?
I don't know.
You can talk about the show for a long time.
You could. Like, it could go on forever.
If we watched more, like, the second movie, there's a lot more we could talk about, but...
True.
It kind of comes back to Ghost in the Shell, too, where there's, like... the ideas that are being brought up by the show, like this discussion of if the world is going to blow up and you're the only person that can save it, what should you do, like, morally speaking, versus... And then, like, do morals come into it? Like, there's a whole other layer of philosophical discussion you can have this show kind of brings up. And we're not really the podcast to, like, dig too deep into that, but...
Oh, we do
We'd need more time.
We do sometimes.
Yeah, if we had more time to, like, research,
we
could probably get, like, a really long episode in.
Arguments.
Yeah.
Today
if you want...
Here's my thesis on Evangelion.
Well, if you want more, you can definitely go to Digibro. He's got some good stuff.
Yeah.
His
he does.
Talks about, like, the show, though.
We'll maybe link a couple videos.
Yeah.
Also, this isn't, like, super deep or anything, but there are a ton of amazing Evangelion meme pages on Facebook.
Liam, why don't you do that to our listeners?
There's so many good Eva jokes. If you ever finish the show, there's so many fresh Eva memes out there.
Send me one of those pages.
There's pages that are more focused on, like, gay Shinji memes, and then there's pages that are more focused on, like, father abuse.
The memes are so beautiful for this show. It's worth it just for the memes.
It's got a big internet cult behind it.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say, one of the things I really liked about the Rebuild movie is just the little looks that they give him.
What, like the other characters looking at Shinji?
No, like Shinji's little looks, like...
Oh! Like at the beginning?
At the very beginning, there's a couple things. I can't even remember what the situation is.
Misato's talking to him about something.
It cuts to him, and he just, like, gives her one of these looks, like...
No one gets
Like, there's so many words in that look, and you don't get that in the original show, because it just doesn't quite have the same production.
He has, like, more, like... His expressions are more subtle, but you can, like, take a lot from them. From the subtleties, because the animation is good.
And I, like, laughed a couple times at them, because they're so, like, obvious, like, what he's thinking in that moment.
It's good. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Liam, I distracted from the meme pages. I had to throw those in really quickly.
How dare you?
Like,
you're ruining our meme time.
I just burst out laughing. It's not even a situation in the movie to laugh, but it was just like, ah!
It's okay. Everyone laughs at inappropriate moments now and again.
I'm glad that we had a chance, that we'll have, like, a reason to sit down and watch this, though, because, like I said, it kind of almost reinvigorates my interest in Evangelion.
Yeah, I would say that.
To just go back and rewatch it and see what happens.
Yeah, if you want to get hyped for Evangelion, there's a good fan-made trailer on YouTube. I think it's just called Neon Genesis Evangelion Trailer Remastered. And that's if you want to show someone Evangelion and make it seem way cooler than it actually is, show them that video. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, we should link that video.
Yeah, we'll link it.
Yeah, I'll find it.
You can check it in our description.
I want to see that.
If I remember when I write the description.
Well,
I don't know.
I guess we gotta wrap it up or cut it off at some point so we don't ramble too far.
That's
so,
true.
Next week we're going back to the regular format, but we'll still be sans Leah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we're going to do...
we're going to go back to the three marble draw style just for the next week. One person will be watching both animes.
I volunteered to watch.
Yeah, Veda's gonna watch both animes.
Yeah.
Are we doing it where you're watching both, or is it the red marble / candy?
I can watch both because I've seen one of them, so I'm fine with watching both.
So we'll just draw to see which one of me and Becca has to watch the bad one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so because we're in a different recording location all together in the same place for once.
Yay!
The only other time you can hear that is on our very special...
really cheap, super awesome episode.
It's super great. We scream a lot.
Boku no Pico, guys.
Clap along with us.
It's almost worth $1. That's what I'm gonna say. Anyway, we're in a different location. I forgot to bring the marbles because I'm not very bright today.
In the spirit of Japan, though.
In the spirit of Japan, we replaced the marbles with haichus.
Yeah.
So we have.
If you don't know what haichus are, it's a delicious candy that's like a Starburst, and you should eat them.
They're better than Starburst.
They're better than Starburst.
Yeah, I dig them.
I love them.
Starburst gets all like hard and crusty when they're stale.
These don't. Haichus are delicious. Just go try them.
Yeah. So we got a green haichu and 2 red haichus in our little shark bowl.
Yeah.
We're gonna make Liam pick first. Clink, 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 clink.
Did we decide which one? Okay, no, you got it. Never mind.
Huh?
I was gonna be like, which one's bad?
I got a green one.
Green.
Oh, so Liam ended that prematurely. We both get reds.
Woo! Oh shoot! I can't catch. Alright, I got mango.
Alright, so Veda is the person picking for next week.
Yay! I got to pick animes again. I feel like I've picked for you guys a lot, and I'm really sorry.
We're sorry too.
So does that mean me and Becca are both watching the good?
No, you got the green one, which is the standout.
You're gonna watch the bad. She's gonna watch the good, and I'm gonna watch both.
You're gonna watch the ugly?
Yeah.
Which is both of them?
Yeah. So what do you want, bad or good first?
Bad.
Bad?
I'm gonna open up my candy.
Okay. So I decided to go with the theme. Like, we haven't touched on this genre of anime before. You're not gonna be too excited. I decided to pick sports anime for this week. So you guys are all gonna love me.
Yeah, too late.
It's great. So I picked them kind of based on the scores that were on my anime list.
Is the rugby one of them?
I couldn't find the rugby one.
Damn!
But I need that. I need that show because those booties are popping.
Yeah. What about the horse girl anime?
No, I couldn't find that one either.
I find that one of these days.
I found a couple that were like super like low for Mal, and I was like, okay.
I hope one of them's that stupid like motorbike one where she's playing a bike with her kids.
Oh god. Anyway, so yeah, they're different sports because I couldn't find one that was the same sports. So the bad anime I will start with is basketball, and it's called Roku. Oh boy. So talk about games being called unexpectedly. Hasegawa Subaru joined the basketball club at Nanashiba High only to have his hopes dashed when the team's play is suspended after the captain is suspected of having inappropriate feelings for the coach's underage daughter. Blindsided and blocked by bad luck, Subaru unexpectedly finds an opening for his talent with the hoops when his aunt asks him to take on the task of coaching a young girls' basketball club, a Rokubu. But can a superstar wannabe find true satisfaction while playing a sixth man to a team of 5 girls?
I'm so unimpressed with you right now.
Hey, you don't have to watch it.
You don't have to watch this one. So that's for Liam. You're welcome. I'm sure you're going to really enjoy it. I watched like 2 minutes of it and I was like, oh god, this looks horrible.
We avoid sports on principle to begin with.
I know, right?
And now you're dragging it back in.
The My Anime List score for that one is a 7.06, which isn't actually too terrible. But like,
how old is it?
2013, I think.
Okay.
No, 2011.
Worse.
2011.
That could still be much worse.
Yeah, it could. I think, and so probably you might be expecting this, especially from me. For the good anime, I picked the one that was highest rated on My Anime List, which just so happens to be Haikyuu.
Oh,
that's a volleyball one.
The volleyball one. So that one is an 8.67.
Yo, this episode's gonna have so much hype.
High. It's a really high score, right? Yeah. I know, I was like, that's a really high score for this.
Assuming the show doesn't focus on volleyball then.
I've seen a few bits and pieces of it.
So have I.
I think I'm the only one that hasn't.
Well, then now you get to watch Haikyuu.
Oh, great.
So I'll read you the description. It seems really long here. Anyway, inspired after watching a volleyball ace nicknamed Little Giant in action, small-statured Shoyo Hinata revives the volleyball club at his middle school. The newly formed team even makes it to a tournament. However, their first match turns out to be their last when they are brutally squashed by the king of the court, Tobio Kageyama.
I hope he wears a crown.
Yeah, there you go. Hinata vows to surpass Kageyama, and so after graduating from middle school, he joins the Karasuno High School's volleyball team, only to find that his sworn rival, Kageyama, is now his teammate.
Oh my god, sexy times begin.
You don't even know.
I think my friend's having sex with him!
Thanks to his short height, Hinata struggles to find his role on the team, even with his superior jumping power. Surprisingly, I know, Kageyama has his own problems that only Hinata can help with, and learning to work together appears to be the only way for the team to be successful. Based on Haruichi Furudate's popular shonen manga of the same name, Haikyuu is an exhilarating and emotional sports comedy following two determined athletes as they attempt to patch a heated rivalry in order to make their high school volleyball team the best in Japan.
Well, it can't be any worse than Super Lovers. So.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
it's not a yaoi, so
what was Super Lovers?
Really?
It's not shonen either.
Shonen Ai versus yaoi. Everybody calls boy love yaoi, and it's actually gotten to be a little tick of mine where I'm
I'm
yaoi
sorry.
is the porn specifically.
I know, I do it all the time.
If you see dicks going into butts or mouths or whatever, that's yaoi. Where Shonen Ai is just the lovey part.
They just smooch.
Where they get all the way up to almost sticking a dick in a butt or a mouth or whatever. But then they hold back for decency's sake.
Good job, Shonen Ai.
Till marriage.
Yes. I don't even care. They save it until they close the bedroom door and then they have sex off camera. I don't care. It's all fun.
That's how anime works.
Yeah, always.
It's not yaoi with boys kissing. It's yaoi with boys fucking.
Sorry. I messed that up all the
time. Not you specifically. It's everybody.
No, it's
Even
okay.
Otafest did the same thing, and I was like, these people should know.
How dare they?
Yeah,
I'm unprofessional.
For the Japanese language
0 out of 10.
Pronounce. I just want to call attention to how well you say the names. Which is when I look at a Japanese, I'm like, I don't even care what their name is. It's a person. And then I move on.
Oh, thank you.
So once again, Veda is great at saying Japanese things.
Oh, thank you very much.
Arigatou
gozaimasu.
Yeah, there we go.
On that note, we'll tune into you guys, or you can tune into us next week to find out the verdict on sports animes.
Brats.
Ooh.
Score points.
Check us out as we score points on Facebook, on iTunes, and on Podbean. If you just Google 4 Weebs, we're pretty much the only thing that exists.
But don't click on the "Did you mean 4 weeks?" because I've done that. Don't do that. It just brings up a bunch of pictures of pregnant women, and it's just really weird.
Unless you're looking for pregnant women, in which case you found the right Google search.
Unless you're really looking for 4 weeks, then you should probably click on that.
Yeah. And then click on us, because,
Check out Weebs, though, because, podcasts are fun.
So much time just gestating that little ball of whatever is going to come out of you. You as well listen to some
anime. On the bus, in your car, anywhere.
This is really weird, so I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.